Hello and welcome to WHSH TV. I'm Tier Black and with me is Colin Evans. Thanks for joining us for another edition of the WHSH News. On today's show, we will recap the one and only mayor's debate that was held here at WHS on Tuesday night. We will salute other teachers here at WHS, Mrs. Schaefer, and find out more about her final year with us here at Washington High School before retirement. And a local manufacturing business in Washington is expanding and adding more space to the factory. We will find out more.
In sports, a wet week has meant several cancellations in high school baseball and softball games at all area schools. And the NBA and NHL postseason tournaments are heating up. Plus, this week, seniors will reflect on their best memories here in the classroom at WHSH TV. And we will again roam the hallways for the students' favorite memories from this past year.
And all that and much more. It's Friday, April 26th, and you're watching WHSH TV. Residents of Washington got a chance to hear from each of our four candidates vying to be the next mayor of the city in their one and only debate presented by Washington Times-Herald and the WAMW last Tuesday night in the high school auditorium. WHSH TV presented live coverage of the event, and we will now hear from each of the candidates and learn a little bit more about them.
My name is Don Williams. I am your Republican candidate for mayor. I have been lucky enough to be involved with the city of Washington for 46 years. I had a career of 32 years on the Washington Police Department. I served over 20-some years as a captain on second shift and got promoted down to day shift. After retiring out at 32 years on the police department and able to serve the citizens of Washington, I became a police dispatcher for 8 years. After 8 years, I was able to get up, talk to Mayor Wellman, try to find a day shift job because of my children playing heavily in sports, and he transferred me out to the building commissioner's office. I am currently, after being there for 6 years, I am currently your building commissioner and your Davis County Plan Director.
I will bring 28 years of city experience with the city of Washington, and I'm currently the fire chief, which I have been the fire chief for 12 years. And I have worked under 3 mayors, 3 clerk treasurers, and 4 administrations during this period of time as fire chief. I have sat through many council meetings over the last 12 years and came up with a lot of knowledge with current politics and the current city administration. I have also went to several past years since I worked for under 3 mayors. I've sit through several mayor roundtable meetings through the state of Indiana, through the southwest part of Indiana mostly. I have worked with all these department heads, some present and some past, in the 12 years, and we've worked closely together. And I know them personally, and I know them on a daily basis along with the city employees.
I have over 33 years of managerial and administrative experience of a government agency. I also have a bachelor's degree from Indiana University in Public Affairs. I am also a graduate of Leadership Davies County. I am also the longest serving community corrections director in the state of Indiana. I also won the award of Director of the Year in 2015. Under my leadership, Community Corrections has grown from a 2-person operation when I started in 1985 to now employing 9 full-time and 4 part-time staff.
I've been on the City Council for the 2nd term. I'm in the District 3, and my knowledge from my previous administration where I worked, I was the foreman for 17 years. I controlled all of the mobile equipment and everything, and on the safety team and everything up at US Gypsum. I retired after 32 years there, and then I came back home. I mean, I lived here the whole time, but what needs to be done is, with my experiences, I ask a lot of questions, and some of them are hard questions, but you have to have the answers for us, because that's the way it is.
Remember, the primary election is fast approaching on Tuesday, May 7th. Early voting is underway now at the Daviess County Courthouse. Don't forget to exercise your right to vote. A local manufacturing business in Washington is expanding and adding more space. NASCO Industries is adding on to their current facility at 3 Northeast 21st Street to offer more jobs and expand the current operation. Todd Smith sat down with our crew to tell us more about their future plans.
NASCO stands for the Neil Allen Smith Company. It's my father, who recently passed away. It was founded in 1978. We first started operations in 1979. We make protective outerwear and have, since our beginning, everything we make is waterproof. We supply product to the electric utility industry, to many transportation departments where they need high visibility, and we sell a lot to the oil and gas industry in the United States for extraction, transportation, and refining. So we innovate our own products. We make a lot of our own fabrics. We engineer them, and we manufacture here in Washington, Indiana. Well, NASCO's growing, and we have been leasing a warehouse, but we had land, so we decided that our business had grown to the point where we felt like we could take on a big expansion project. So many of us that work in management share an office. And I'm the president of the company. I share an office as well as most of our managers do. And we need office space. So our expansion project is going to include a warehouse. It's going to include an office complex. And the office complex is going to be a building, as you can see over there in the rendering, that will have as many as 20 people working out there. And so we're going to bring it all on site and have a campus, a NASCO campus, that allows us to run our entire operation here without leasing any space. And we'll have plenty of room for everyone.
NASCO Industries is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year and offers productive outerwear solutions to companies all around the world with products made in the US of A. The Washington High School choir members left for New York City early yesterday morning to perform a once-in-a-lifetime show at the historical Carnegie Music Hall. Students have been preparing for the show for several weeks. We spoke to a couple of members of the choir to find out more about what the trip involves.
So our advanced choirs are going to New York to perform along with several other choirs in Carnegie Hall. We are in the Armonioso section, which we are the last group to perform, along with several other choirs, and we'll be performing in 3 songs during that section. I Will Lift Mine Eyes, Go Lovely Rose, and From Heaven the Still to Clemency. And then after the Armonioso section, we, along with all of the other choirs in this festival, which is through the Choirs of America, will perform a debut piece called The Seven Glories of the Stars, which is going to be conducted by its composer, Z. Randall Straub. And this is the first time it has ever been performed or heard with a full choir in mind.
For me, this is my first time ever going to New York, so just the idea of going to New York is mind-blowing for me.
Same with me, and our choir as a whole has never been before. We've been to other places such as Chicago and Branson, and but we haven't ever taken a trip that was this far away before. So outside of our performance, there's going to be several workshops where professionals are going to come in and work with us, both as a choir and as large groups as a whole. One of these workshops is going to be led by a Broadway actor who's going to be giving us tips on acting and singing and talk about his path to Broadway or her path to Broadway. And outside of the music sections of it, we'll also be visiting several tourist destinations, and such as Times Square, the new 9/11 and museum, and the Met Art Gallery.
Well, the trip itself is through a company called Bright Spark, and it all depends on who or what plan you want to take, depending if you want to fly alone or fly within the group. But for me, flying by myself cost a lot less, significantly a lot less, but the trip itself was over $1,600.
We did have several fundraising opportunities throughout the year, so that we could raise the money he needed for the trip.
We leave Thursday morning from here, the Washington High School. We leave at about 2 a.m. and several flights, they leave either 6 or 7, and we arrive in New York, and we're there for an hour in our hotel, and then we immediately dive into our practice with the other choirs. And I've heard there was a choir from France coming too, so we'll be singing with the choir from France. We leave Thursday morning, so we arrive there about late morning of Thursday, and we come back Sunday night.
Best of luck to those performing and representing Washington High School this weekend in New York City. The CEO class has been busy making final preparations for their end-of-the-year trade show set for May 11th at the Eastside Park Community Building. Each student developed their own business and business model and will display the showcase the business to the general public. We spoke to one of our business owners, Noah Journal, about his business and the trade show.
CEO stands for creating entrepreneurial opportunities, and it's all we basically do is go around talking to business people in the community and other community leaders, and they present to us, and we visit their business, and they give us some helpful advice on our own businesses and life advice. I'll present my own business. It's May 11th from 4 to 6 at the park. And there's going to be 17 different booths with 17 different businesses. It's a really fun experience being in CEO, and I think the trade show just adds to the whole experience.
The CEO Trade Show will be Saturday, May 11th from 2 to 4 p.m. at the Eastside Park Community Building. Coming up after the break, we'll have a quick look at your forecast in this week's movie review with critic Clint Ivey. Stay tuned. You are watching WHSH TV.
This new dad is picturing a tree house in the sky, but he's ignoring the instructions. Good luck, big guy. His kids know that he's building without a clue. Never been so good with nails and glue. Now we're trapped inside a box. I hope mom knows what to do. Mom! See, you don't have to be perfect to be the perfect parent.
Thousands of siblings in foster care will take you just as you are.
Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I'm Colin Evans, and here is your current weekend forecast for this week. Your current conditions, today is partly sunny with a high of 66, and tonight is mostly clear with a low of 43. Let's take a look at your weekend. Saturday is partly cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 43. Great day for a little bit of relaxing outside. Sunday would be partly cloudy with a high of 63 and a low of 48. So you had to get another nice day to enjoy. That's your current forecast reporting. I'm Colin Evans here from WHSH TV. We'll be back right after this.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Each year we talk to the senior students of the radio and TV class to reflect on the year and to share the memories and advice for students taking the course next year. We have a great group of seniors this year and wish them all the best. Here is a reflection of life in the radio and TV class from this year's senior class members.
Favorite memory in the radio TV class would probably be the time Caleb Knepp was doing sports and his lavalier was broken at the time, and so he taped it to his shirt, and while he was talking, his lavalier just happened to fall off his shirt.
My favorite memory is when after last year, every newscast when Wes was anchor, he would throw all the papers up.
I would say that you have to learn a lot. Just ask JJ if you need anything. Yeah, JJ's smart, so just ask JJ.
I'd say for other students, take this class. It's worth it. It's fun.
I'm the only girl in here, so I'm basically surrounded by guys all the time. But honestly, the class would be so boring without all of them not in here. So as ridiculous and weird as their conversations can be and how they act, they keep it pretty entertaining. So I got to give them that.
I think my favorite memory here at the radio TV class is one day I was going in to do a radio shift, and I forgot I didn't mute the microphone, and I was singing along to Bad Romance by Lady Gaga.
You should probably really be into music and TV and to be in this class, or you're not going to enjoy it. So, I mean, if you're not going to be really into any of this, then I wouldn't recommend joining it. But if you are, then I tell you probably a good class to join. Austin?
I do recommend that you do join the radio TV class. It is a fun class to join. It's never a boring moment here.
Once again, best wishes to this year's senior class members. Thanks for your contribution to the program. We are proud to report 2 of the students, Kane Fox and Nate Napier, are planning to study broadcasting next year in college. 3 students in the DECA business class here at Washington High School are at the Nationals this week in Orlando. We spoke to one of those heading on the trip to tell us about the trip, Gretchen Kaiser.
My name is Gretchen Kaiser, and I am the junior class treasurer and currently the chapter president of Washington's DECA. We leave today, this Thursday, and we will be getting back around Wednesday, like midnight. and pretty much me and my partners Kira Waller and Melita Dradaneska will be competing in our project, which is about the school store here at Washington High School. Orlando, Florida, and meeting as many new people as possible. DECA just pretty much prepares you to be prepared for any opportunity or anything that the business field will throw at you, and as we have learned with our project, entrepreneurship is not as easy as you may think it is. I'd suggest to join DECA because if you really just try real hard, it actually comes pretty natural to most people, and it is the one thing that has taught me the most at high school.
Good luck to the 3 students on the trip. They left yesterday and will return back to Washington on Tuesday. A familiar face of the science department, Mrs. Schaefer, will be retiring after this school year at Washington High School. We had a chance to learn more about Mrs. Schaefer this week and her future plans after teaching.
Well, anybody who's had that much experience has lots of them. Some of the ones would be when we do end-of-the-year projects, because you know the students so much better by that time. You have a rapport with them, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable that you know them so well and know what they need. Go into Envirothon competitions up at Purdue University and watching those students' success, and a lot of memorable memories with the staff that I work with here. That's probably been extremely gratifying. Well, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, and my husband's from Pennsylvania, and I was working in Delaware because I was working for Purdue Farms Incorporated. And once we had a child, I was so far from home and found out that Washington had a new turkey plant. And I said to my husband, I said, you got to get a transfer there. You have to get a transfer there. And I moved here sight unseen. He came out and looked around, told me it was rolling hills. I kind of think those weren't the rolling hills I was thinking of, but we've been here ever since for 32 years. Well, I did work for Purdue Farms, and I worked in the processing plant, and I was a quality control manager. So I'd be the one that you didn't want to see approaching your department, because I was there probably to tell you to do something different or faster or in some other ways. But and then I got into production, and I also worked for Purdue Farms out here for 9 months. No, we've been kind of cheating and traveling the past few years while I've still been teaching on spring breaks and fall breaks, and gotten to go on some fabulous trips. And so I don't want to go anywhere twice, so I still have quite a few things on my list of things to visit. Try to stay in the moment and don't think about all what's on your plate, and enjoy the time that you're teaching and spending with the students that you're with. Being around people and interacting. The camaraderie of the people that I work with, again, that's going to be something that I'll miss dearly.
Thank you for your time, Mrs. Schaefer, and all the best in your retirement from the students and staff here at WHSH TV. This week on our weekly movie review with Clint Ivey, he highlights 3 upcoming movies that are sure to be blockbuster hits.
Clint's Weekly Review!
Hi, I'm Clint Ivey, and it's time for your weekly review. Just kidding, this week we're going to be doing something different. We are going to be talking about the top 3 upcoming movies. Before I start, I want to clarify that these are in no particular order. First, we're going to be talking about a movie that kids and Pokemon fans should love. This movie is called Detective Pikachu. Detective Pikachu is about a boy named Tim who meets a notorious Pokemon character named Pikachu, and they work together to learn about the disappearance of Tim's father. During the adventure, Pikachu and Tim discover new evil problems that stand in their paths. Detective Pikachu will release on May 10th, 2019. Next, we'll be talking about a movie I am excited for. It is called John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. This movie takes place right after John Wick 2, where John Wick broke some rules and now has a bounty on his head for millions of dollars. John and his dog take on a ton of hitmen around the city as he fights to survive. John Wick Chapter 3 releases on May 17th, 2019. Finally, the last movie we will be talking about is Avengers Endgame. By the time you are hearing this, Avengers Endgame will have already released. After 2018's Avengers Infinity War, the original Avengers, including Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Thor, and much more, fight against almighty Thanos, who wiped out 50% of the population in the universe. The Avengers realized there might be a way to bring back the 50%, so they set out to bring back the dead in an ultimate fight against Thanos. Avengers Endgame releases on April 26, 2019. If you want to see these movies, be sure to buy tickets online or at a theater near you. Thanks for watching this week. I'm Clint Ivey, and this is WHSH TV.
Thanks, Clint. Good detailed information about some great upcoming movies. Coming up after the break, we will have a more detailed look at the latest in sports with Nate Napier. You're watching WHSH TV.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills? Check. Driver's license? Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
Hey, this job looks perfect. It says you need people skills? Check. Driver's license? Check. And a high school diploma. You've got one of those, right?
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
I got that. You are good to go.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Is it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Good afternoon. With WHSH Sports, I'm Nate Napier. The wet weather this week has put a damper on lots of games in baseball and softball. The Hatchet baseball games against South Spencer was canceled at home
On Wednesday, Washington is scheduled to face Boonville tonight. The NBA Finals, the Portland Trail Blazers and the Houston Rockets both advance into round 2 with win this week. After losing their opening games, the Rockets eliminated the Utah Jazz 100-93. Houston claims the series 4-1. The Trailblazers also advance with a thrilling game 5 win over 118-115. The Blazers got the win on the last second long three-pointer at the buzzer from Damian Leonard. Portland also advances winning 4 games to 1. Ben Roethlisberger will be the quarterback at Pittsburgh for another 3 seasons. The Steelers and Big Ben signed a contract. Extensions this week, keeping him at Pittsburgh through 2021. Roethlisberger is 37 years old and was on the final year of his contract, worth $63 million. He was selected in the first round of the draft in 2004. And in hockey, the Carolina Hurricanes eliminated the Washington Capitals to advance in the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs. With the Canes win, the 4 top teams in each division were knocked out of the contention. That is the first time in the history of the Stanley Cup for this to happen. And that is a wrap for sports this week. Reporting for WHSH TV, I'm Nate Napier. We will be back right after this.
Welcome back to WHSH TV. Let's take a look at this week's hallway beat.
John Garrett Rook, what is your favorite memory of this school year?
Oh, well, my favorite memory, it has to be driving all the way out to Evansville North to watch our soccer team compete in semi-state, only to lose with 22 seconds left. It was a really great memory. I went and ate at Olive Garden with Kane Fox afterwards. He's behind the camera now, you can't see him. But it was a really great memory, and that's something I'm going to think back on.
All right, thank you, Jay. Okay, so Alex, what has been your favorite memory of this school year?
Meeting Brooks Lee Robinson.
That's a great person to meet, too.
Yeah, he's an amazing person, an amazing friend. Now we're best buds. We ended segregation in the school.
Love you, Alex.
Love you too, Brooks.
All right, so Tater Enlow, what is your favorite memory of this school year?
I think it was beating North Davies in football.
Oh, that was a great night. Great night. Thank you very much, Tater.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah. Kevin Laguerre, what is your favorite memory of this school year?
When Ms. Clark was standing on the stool and yelling at our class.
I mean, that's always fun to see. All right. Thank you, Kevin. Logan Reister, what is your favorite memory of this school year?
Watching Colson Montgomery hit a dong into the soccer fields off Nick Sandulo.
I mean, that was a beautiful hit, too. Yeah. So, Jackson Fry, what is your favorite memory of this school year?
I hit dingers.
The entire team here at WHSH on the campus of Washington High School, we would like to thank everyone for watching. Have a great weekend, and we will see you next week here on WHSH TV.